Hello, welcome to my channel. I like to use software-defined radio devices, SDRs, often called an SDR dongle. This is the Nualec SDR Smart version 5, and it's one of my favorites. It's also, I think, one of the cheapest on Amazon, and it works really well for VHF and UHF. It doesn't cover HF below 24 megahertz, but I have other SDRs for that, like a SDR Play RSPDX and a AirSpy Discovery HF Plus, which I think is the best one I have for HF. But for VHF, UHF, this is really nice. And they're, as I say, quite inexpensive. And I tend to mount them directly under an antenna in a waterproof box outdoors. And it works well. Anyway, my favorite program, software, for using an SDR device like that is called SDR++. And I usually abbreviate it to SDRPP, but it's officially called SDR++. You can read all about it if you Google it. There are websites that talk about it. I'm installing the SDRPP software on Linux Mint because I'm using it today. And you have to, of course, download the software in this case. You could download it straight to the command line, but I want to look at the GitHub page anyway. And here you can see the releases from the author. Thank you to Alexandra for making this software, because I use it extensively. And there are various packages for the various operating systems that show all 25 assets, various different Debian distros, Ubuntu, and somewhere at the bottom for people left using Windows, there's this one down here. And I'm using Linux Mint 22.3, which is based on Ubuntu 24 Noble. You have to know that because you need to use the Ubuntu version here, so we need Ubuntu 24 Noble, that's called Noble, and I'm using an AMD 64 CPU. So we just download that, click on it, and it should start downloading. It's already finished. I need to check I've really got the right version here. It really is Noble AMD 64. So there's the file in my downloads directory. And all you need to do now is to install it. How do we do that? We have to, of course, change to the downloads directory. So that's going to be here, Control-Shift-V. And let's just have a quick look what's in there. Yeah, one file. You have to be root to do this, so let's do sudo su. We don't have to be, but I am. Password means less typing in a few seconds from now. And then you just apt install the file that was downloaded, just like this. Will this work? Yes, it has. If the version number has changed, oh, actually, there is no version number, so it makes it easier. Do we want to continue? Yes. So that works. So it's installed, finished. No, it hasn't. Anyway, software-defined radio I like a lot. I tend not to plug the dongle straight into my computers, because then you have to use the same computer. And sometimes I want to sit on the sofa and use a laptop. So what I do is I run it on my server down there. Where is it? Down there, that box with the flashing light. I'll show you sometime how I set that up to use this SDR++ software in server mode so that it can be accessed via the network, the LAN at home, or even outside from the internet if you set up the port forwarding. So that's it. It's downloaded. You also need to install the drivers for the various SDR dongles you might have. I'm going to install these two because those are the two that I often use. So let's put that in there. Install those. Yes. 400 kilobytes. Wow. So that's that. And then you just run the program. What I'm going to do is, instead of typing SDRPP, I'm going to actually search for it in this menu. There it is, SDR++, and I'm going to add it to the panel down here so that when I click on it, it should hopefully start. There we are, it's started. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger maybe. And normally you would select whichever dongle you've plugged into the USB port on the computer, and you will be able to use it. What I'm going to do is connect it to my server instead, which has this IP address in my local area network. So the type of SDR is going to be SDR++ server, port 8080, and let's see if this works. Connect. Look at that. Oh, localhost. Who put that there? Let's just copy that again. I made a mistake. That's assuming it's going to be the same machine. So let's do Control-C. How did I miss that? Try again, Control-V. Okay, port 8080, connect. Already in use. Oh no, this is terrible. When this happens, exiting this program doesn't work. You actually have to release it, and the only way I found out how to do that is by rebooting the virtual machine that's running that SDRPP server. Stand by, I will be back soon. So I've just reset the SDRPP server, so let's start the program again down here and see if I do better this time. IP address has been stored there, .117, and port 8080, connect. Okay, now it's connected. Now let's play. Oh, wait a second, can't play because it doesn't know what the SDR is. It is one of those, but I need to hit the refresh button so that it loads the details in that it's got from the SDR receiver plugged into the server via the network, my LAN. There it is. So now we can start it. And, oh, look at that, it works. Let me just turn the sound off for a second. Let's go and look at an amateur radio band, like 14 megahertz. Oh look, there are signals. Wow, quite busy. So as you can see, it works. There's a horrible, nasty noise source somewhere near where I live. This is the, it's zoomed out, yes. Anyway, that's the FT8 frequency. Have a quick look. USB, and click on it. Now I can turn the sound back on. Oh, it's too loud. Okay. So there's the FT8 signals. I think it's probably enough of that. So as you can see, the SDRPP software is working nicely, and as I said, it's my favorite, and you can do lots of things with it. Anyway, that's enough for now. I'll show in another video how to set up the server version of that if you want to be able to serve in fact the whole bandwidth over your network. You can record the whole bandwidth that you can see on the display and play it back later and tune around inside it. So that's quite fun. Anyway, thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.